You asked for it? Now here's your chance to support their stories. The Mountain Mysteries and Gatherings merchandise. Scared Lloyd t-shirts starting at only $20 each from sizes small through XL. 2X and up are only $25 and you pick the design. Special edition memorial shirts are $30 each in sizes small through XL and $35 each for 2X and up. Plus ball caps are only $18 each. To order, go to facebook.com/The Mountain Mysteries or contact us at The Mountain Mysteries Facebook Messenger. Stay mysterious. You know, I'm thoroughly convinced that the older I get, the softer I'm getting. Hey, how you doing? Been a rough week. I know. Has been for Stace and I too. Been for most of us. You know, if you've never had to stare down the barrel of eternity facing that kind of grief, consider yourself blessed. And if you are, then you're in a place that is fitting. Here, you can cry when you want to, when you need to. You can also laugh when you want to, when you need to. You can think about things when you want to, when you need to. The one thing that you don't have to do is go through this alone. That's the whole purpose of this. No, not the pen. I don't know. When I'm behind a microphone, whether it was back when I was doing audiobooks or commercials for radio and TV doing voiceovers, I always had to, it's just a tick. It's a pet peeve. It's a pen. That's exactly what it is. I spent some time this week trying to figure out how to put this to you, because so many people always ask the same question. They ask it of Stace, they ask it of me, they ask it of a lot of people. when the people that we love go home, they leave. Where is it that they go? Is it up there? Is it where? From the time that I was a kid, I always had this thing that, and I have absolutely no basis or no undeniable fact of proof that I can give for this. It's just a really, really strong gut feeling that I've always had. Almost like that, that frog in your throat kind of thing. But I actually talked to Chelsea about, what's a good way to, you know, do you think, bounced analogies off her just like I used to her mom, Robin. And Chelsea said, I think that's a really good way of putting it. So I said, well, okay. So I want you to think that you're in a house. And in this house, there's a bunch of different rooms. Living room, dining room, maybe a kitchen, maybe a den, whatever, bedrooms, of course. And let's say that you got a lot of people in that house, a lot of people that you love, a lot of people that you care about. And let's say that you and one of your friends, or maybe a few of your friends, are in the living room. Well, that's this plane of existence. That's this. But let's say that you hear some other friends in another part of the house, maybe the kitchen or dining room. You know they're there, but you don't see them. Kind of the same thing. They're there. You just don't see them. They're always with you. Now, I'm still learning a lot about. Stace could probably tell you so much more about this. And I ain't trying to get into this new age, whatever. But I do believe that there's a lot of things here to think about. I can tell you that, when you're feeling depressed or you're grieving, you just feel kind of down. That's a lower vibration of your soul. It's a lower frequency, vibration, whatever you want to call it. Laughter brings that up. It helps a little bit. There's different levels, different frequencies, vibrations, whatever you want to call it. And again, I don't have a towel on my head with a diamond in the middle going, oh, I am not that guy. If I was anybody, I'd be Jack Nicholson on anger management. Goose fraba. Not even that is me. But just because I don't understand something doesn't make it any less true. Trust me. I've been trying to figure that crap out for a long time. But you know how sometimes you just get this feeling that something is accurate, it's right. You just get that feeling and you don't really have any kind of a thing to back it up or say, yes, empirical data says this and this and this. And truth of the matter is that I've got no empirical data. To be honest with you, to me, that's a $25 word that I can't even spell, let alone barely pronounce. And if it wasn't for over 3 decades of experience in broadcasting and radio, I probably wouldn't even be able to pronounce the word empirical. But I do know what it feels like when I hear the truth. I've always had a knack for that. Since I was a kid. And I feel like that's true. There's so many questions that we have when we lose somebody that we love, especially this time of year. And am I wrong? I mean, it seems like it amplifies this time of year. It seems like it gets worse. And why? How is this time of year, how is December 4th, other than the fact that it is Kayla's birthday? Love you, Kayla. You didn't think I was going to let that get away. Other than that, but how is it different from June 4th? Well, I'll tell you why. This is typically the time of year that, people are in swing with a holiday thing. Actually, I'm not going to use that word, with a Christmas thing. Christmas. I love the Christmas. But it's usually this time of year, then you start thinking, And you thought, well, if they were here, they are here. Maybe a better way of putting that is if they were here like we have been used to. Yeah, I get that. You know, I'm going through that right now. I'm right in the middle of that with the robin. Have been going through it for years, since 2019 with my mom and dad, then 22 with Trev, and then Ollie, and for years and years with people I lost in school while I was still in school. And I will throw out some names there: Angel Butcher, Jimmy Davis, Jennifer Ferguson. A lot of these are names that Stace knows too. Many of you may know them. Good people, gone way too soon from this life, but they are still there. They're still with us. And we will see them again one day. Talked about all that last week. What you got to do to get there, in my honest belief. Except Jesus. That's so many people are like, man, there ain't no way he'd want anything to do with me. I'm sitting there thinking, wow. I'm gonna tell you a real quick little story, and we're gonna bring Stace in. Because she always seems to make things better. A week before my dad died, I sit on the couch with him out at their place, mom and dad's place. Mom had been gone at this point for about 3 weeks. She had went home. And the level of pain he was in was undeniably the worst I'd ever seen, or as bad as I'd ever seen anyone. And I know because I was walking that road with him. And he kept beefing me and building me up because he knew somebody was going to have to be there for his other son, my brother. And that there were things that were going to need to be done, decisions that needed to be made, T's that needed crossed, I's that needed dotted. Now, you got to think, and let me give you just a bit of perspective on this. My dad, when I was growing up, he was the one guy nobody wanted to jack with. You know, Vietnam vet, he was this, he was that. He always said what was on his mind. He didn't care. If you didn't want to know, don't ask him. And he just soon throw hands as look at somebody. He was the OG. But he was always fair. He was cool. He was never abusive or anything. He was had a lot of belief in us, a lot of love. Never really saw much in the line of fear out of him, though, up until this time. His biggest fear was that he would not get to see mom again. He voiced that. And I looked at him. I said, why? So why would you think that? He said, you don't know what I've done. I said, I don't have to know what you've done. It's not my place to know what you've done. God's place to know what you've done. He knows what you've done. He knows your heart. Well, that was apparently the wrong thing to say, because then he really got... I know he'd had to do some things when he was in the Army that he always just said it was a job. He said, I was just doing what I had to do. But when mom went, that took everything. He looked at me, he said, there's no way that God can love me knowing what I've done. He said, you say he knows everything. I said, inside and out. There's no way he can love me knowing what I've done. I said, let me ask you a question. When I was growing up, did you ever get mad at me? Yeah. You think your mom and dad ever got mad at you? Probably. Yeah, probably. Or maybe somebody that you looked up to, held in high regard. Think they ever got upset over something that you might have said, did, whatever? Yeah. I said, did you ever quit loving me? He said, no. That answer came very quick. No. Why? I said, look, I lied to you when I was a kid, trying to get out of trouble. I said, I've done some pretty stupid stuff trying to get out of trouble or trying to not get caught. So I'd get in trouble, which inevitably always did. Wasn't that smart. I said, why didn't you ever just disown me and throw me away? He said, because I love you. I said, what makes you think God is any different? 50, no, 47 years at that point in my life. 47 years, and I never made him speechless until that moment. And he just looked at me. He said, how can you be so sure? I said, how can you not? I said, I said, truth of the matter is, Dad, if you'd listened to the doctors who know everything, she should have died in 1999. But she didn't. I said, if you listen, I shouldn't be here right now. Neither should Mike. Neither should you. So tell me, how is it that he can love us so much when we don't deserve it? Out of nowhere. I said, oh, that's easy, Grace. My dad. Who's Grace? Grace, Dad, grace. It's when you get something that you don't deserve, but you get it anyways. It's God's grace. He loves us so much. I said, let me ask you, and this same question I asked you last week. I said, can you imagine, let's say that you just had one son, and you send him to a place which, for all intents and purposes, it's rotten. It's a hard life. You can attest to that. I know you can. You live it every day. But anyways, you send him there, and going into this, he's going to be spit on. He's going to be cast out. He's going to be made fun of. He's going to be beat. And that list just goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's longer than a 4-year-old's Christmas list. That list just keeps on going. Then they're going to drive some nails in each hand and his feet. And they're going to hang him from a cross for the whole world to see. Then they're going to spit on him some more, and they're going to cuss at him, and you get the idea. And you send your only child to this torment. Why? Oh, that's John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Key word there is words. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever shall believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Hope I got that right. I think I did. Got that going on. Chills, yep. And I thought to myself, here we are. This is pathetic, but I had to stop and think about what year it was. 2025 years later, roughly, maybe give or take. People still denying him. Now, those of us that love him, we love him. I love him. He's my Lord. He's my Savior. Could I do better? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm working on it. I want God to work on me. And I'll say it publicly. God, here I am. Use me. But anyway, I said, "Do you think that," and I told Dad, I said, "Do you think that some of the people that have got his forgiveness deserved it?" He said, "I don't think anybody deserves it." I said, "No, they don't, but yet here we are." I said, "I can't think of a better example of love than that." Every once in a while, you run across somebody, though, boy, I tell you what, they sure come close. Maybe it was somebody like your mom. Yeah. Maybe somebody like your dad. Maybe it's somebody like a brother or a husband or a wife or a sister or a child. Kids are really so good at that because they love hard. They love unconditionally. That's one of the things that pisses me off so much about cases like Summers. Or maybe they were just a good person, a good friend, like Amber, like James Osborne, so many other people, and somebody else comes in and takes them. Now, I've always heard this too. We're not supposed to question. We're not supposed to quit. Well, look, the Father knows we're human and we're going to jack something up along the way. It's guaranteed. It's almost like it's put right there in our path to mess it up so we can learn from it. I think that's a reason, though, why we are here is to learn. But, anyways, bet on it. He knows we're going to question. We're going to ask that most basic of questions. Why? Why her? Why him? Why so and so? Why this person? Why that person? Well, and I'm stepping out on faith here, just so you know. But it seems to me like if we're using, like Albert Einstein had said, we're using 5 or 6% of our little tiny brains. I mean, I can't speak for you, but hell, I lose my way to Food City, let alone trying to figure out the secrets of the universe. He could explain it to me. He could sit here and say, "Okay, Chris, one more time. Look, here's what's going on." And I'd still be like, that's where faith in him comes in, that he knows what he's done. When he took my mom, kind of saw that one coming, had seen it coming for a while. I even thought that I'd seen dad's coming, and I thought, okay, I'm braced for this. I'm ready. Because, I mean, my dad adored my mother, worshipped her. And I'd even made a comment at her memorial, I don't give him 30 days. And of course, people there were like, there was this really sweet lady. Her name was Renee, worked at the funeral home. He told her, he said, "I'll be back and see you here in a couple, 3 weeks, maybe 4." He said, "But," he said, "I just wanted to say thank you in advance because I won't be able to tell you then." And she's like, "Oh, come on now. Yeah, yeah." I knew he was right. Didn't want to own it, didn't want to admit to it, but I knew he was right. Trevor, now that one caught me off guard. Didn't see that coming. Scott had called me that morning in the studio, and I just, you ever had your legs fall out from under you? That's an experience. Then Ollie, really good friend of ours, both told me that. His name's Kevin. Still love that guy today. He's like a brother to me. I call him Top Cop because he's one of the best cops out there I've ever seen. He's great. But he didn't see that coming. And I sure didn't see Robin coming. God, I got pissed at that one. Man, slinging. fighting mad. God, that pain was so deep. And I asked, why? And maybe it was just me trying to make sense, but something came into my. I didn't hear it here. It's not like I'm hearing myself talk now. It was something I felt here, if that makes any sense. And it came to me and it said, you have no idea what she was going to have to endure. And then I heard him say, I couldn't let that happen. She's got these 3 beautiful grandkids. Emery, Sadie, Sophie. Beautiful daughter, Chelsea, whom I've become deeply close to. We talk about every day. October 7th, that's when it happened. And even today, to this moment, she is still bringing love into our lives. I bet you I can say the same thing about the people that you love. I made a new friend this evening. Very, very sweet girl. And she was very close to a young lady named Hillary, who was a victim of Brian Epperson's. And Hillary is so beautiful. See, this podcast is being simulcast right now on several channels across, including, and we are going to talk more about Amber. Also, James. And a Facebook page that I would like to recommend. If you've not joined, you join it. Victims of Brian Epperson. And help us put him under a jail. People say, what do you mean when you say under the jail? You talking about tossing him into jail? I say, I'm talking about putting him in a grave. Making no quirks about it. This man killed innocent people. People who were loved. Hillary was one of them. Then there was Rochelle. Rochelle was getting ready to get married. This list goes on. And that's just the ones we know about. We don't know. We suspect that there's more. And then we have people like Amber Spradlin, who was nothing shy of wonderful and beautiful. And sweet. So sweet. But look at the changes that she is making. I don't know if you've seen my Facebook page and many others, but Debbie is running for Floyd County Judge Executive next year. And I will bend over backwards. I will even get up and sing show tunes to get her into office. Now, I'm not really talented at a lot of things. I'm not. I can't work on a car. Trust me, I'm the last guy you'd want under the hood of your car, unless I was giving you a boost or something like that. And I can do that, but I know media, and I'm pretty good at it. So I've been told by a lot of people that I've sold a lot of cars for, and that I've sold a lot of everything. But I tell you what I'm selling this time. It's going to be something a little different. It's going to be change, real change. Debbie's not a politician. Debbie cares about people. She has been on the receiving end. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, she's not a politician. But it's like she said, this isn't about politics. It's about people. Yes, finally, somebody gets it. And I'm not a politician. I could give a rat's ass less about most politics, even though I should care, because it does inevitably decide where this country goes. And I will be honest. Let's see how else can I piss somebody off tonight. I am a Trump supporter. I love Donald Trump. I think that he was exactly what is needed. I am proud to call him my president because, yeah, I'd love a few mean tweets and a $1.89 a gallon gas, whatever it is. And we're not there yet. I'm still waiting, but we're getting there. It's better than it was. Everything is, I think, on average, better than it was. And I think that these changes need to trickle down to local government. And I honestly do, in my heart of hearts, I think that if Debbie can change something, she's going to change it. Because let me tell you, pain is one hell of a catalyst, and she is crawling with it. She has been hurt beyond measure. Her family has been hurt beyond measure. And she wants to see change from as far up as she can get it, tie a rope around its neck and yank it straight down to the ground. She's thinking about the people that everybody else forgot about. A lot of people in the chat tonight. And I'm saying, glad you're here, glad you're here, glad you're here. And I am glad all of you are here. And so is that pretty little girl right there.
Hello, everybody.
We've got, I mean, he was the original OG vampire behind you. He was before David and the Lost Boys. Although he does kind of resemble him. Maybe not, David wasn't quite as tall, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, but still, it's cool to see. And I am saying tonight, and I know that we got a lot of people that are watching this evening that may or may not be in the chat necessarily. And all I can say is I'm glad you're here. People talk about the show, the gatherings, the live stream, the gatherings, the podcast together. We're a family. And I know I went off a little bit more, but you know how I get when I get on my tangents. But I wanted to paint pictures tonight. And those pictures I wanted to paint are that they are still with you. They are still with us.
Yep.
Stace, you've had dreams about Robin recently. So have I. So has Chels. We all dream about Lloyd.
You mean nightmares?
Uh-huh. Okay. Lloyd, who loves chicken. And or whatever it was he was talking about earlier. And I got to say hi to some of the people in our chat room, and then we will get rolling with everything else. Of course, a great big happy birthday again to our Kayla Tanksley.
Happy birthday, Kayla. Love you.
Yeah, we love you very much. I got the very unique privilege to talk to her and Kelly a few days ago, and we spoke for quite a while, and I just really enjoyed our conversation. I really enjoyed talking to them. Of course, Tracy is in there.
Yeah.
Also want to say hey to Jenny, Bernice, Candace, Lloyd, of course, Bobby. Thank you very much, Bob. Bobby is my aunt. She is my mom's sister. And thank you for that. She said this show is addictive in a good way. We try to make something that everybody can be a part of. Here's the kicker. Like I said at the beginning, if you've never stared down the barrel of eternity because of grief, consider yourself blessed by the hands of Jesus himself. Because one day it's going to happen. I want this to be a place where we can come and you don't have to be afraid to scream, cry, kick, be mad. You know, the great thing about God, and I learned this back in 2019, January 21st, that's when my mom died. 9-something in the morning. It's okay to be mad at God. It is. It's okay. Because you can't be mad at something you don't believe in. God will take your anger and he will turn it into love. Now, it may not happen right now, but I will tell you this. There was one night sitting in there on that sofa. I was crying so hard I could not see in front of me. It hurt so bad. And I remember dropping to my knees and saying, God, just give me your peace, please. Bam. There it was. I quit crying. Now, some people say, well, that was a trick of the mind. That's when I'd look around and say, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you might just want to be quiet because when you start messing in things you don't understand, people get shocked. Huh? It did. It worked. All I did was ask him. Since then, every day gets closer and closer and closer. I get closer to him and closer to him. And when he puts it on my heart to say, hey, try to give these people some comfort, then I'm going to try. And I hope he uses me to do that. I'm here. Use me for whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know if it's from him, best insurance policy in the world. Can't get no better. Bible tells us if God will be with us, then who shall be against us? Nobody can stand against you. So, anyways, a big hey to Rita Miller Phillips. And thank you, Bobby, for the kind words. I love you very much, and I appreciate that.
Yes,
Crystal Burks. Hello. Eddie or Edward Bolin. Eddie, I'm sorry. Or Ed, I'm sorry. I'm used to calling you Edward, I guess. So, Shannon Van Hoos. Angie Oakes. There's my chills. I love my girl. Stace. Hi there, sweetheart. I love my Stace.
love you, Patricia, too.
Patricia Mann. Yeah, I get it, Angie. You've cried. We do.
So sorry, Angela.
Honey, it's okay to cry. It is. Some of the best advice I ever heard was by, and you guys have heard the name Jamie Foxx. I loved the advice he gave on. It was one of the talk shows. I really don't keep up with. There's so many of them. But when the grief hits, let it go, let it flow, let it come. I have been standing in the middle of Food City. I've sat at Hardee's. I have, and the tears just come, and I let them come because let me tell you something. Those tears, God counts every one. And those tears, I am not going to try to hold them back because to me, that is doing a dishonor. Because to me, every tear I cry for my mother, my dad, my grandmother, for Robin, for Trevor, for anyone, that is dishonoring them to me. It's just a feeling. And I let it go. And have I gotten strange looks? No stranger than riding down the road at 95 miles an hour on a Harley. No stranger than some of the other goofy stuff I've done. No stranger, or it's no different than being seen out in public with Lloyd. Love you, brother. Got to have that little smile in there once in a while. But here's the thing. I know that the people that love me, they love me, period. Right there sits one. Then I've got Chelsea.
Unconditional.
Unconditional. Because if you love with condition, are you really loving? No.
Right.
I love Stace regardless. It don't matter. I love Chelsea regardless. It don't matter. I loved Robin and I still love her. Regardless, it don't matter. Crystal, regardless, it don't matter. Trisha, regardless, it don't matter. Ange, you too. Bernice, you too. I'm just going down through here at this point, throwing names. Charlie, you too. Carrie, you too. Kelly,
We love all you guys.
love every one of you.
Mary, happy belated birthday, sweetheart. I love you. And I'm so sorry. I didn't know it'd been a year since she lost her husband.
I'm so sorry, baby. And I love you so much. And you've got us.
Absolutely.
But I have recently made a remarkable discovery. I feel so much better when I'm helping somebody. Feels like that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Me too. I agree.
And Chelsea's always talking about, if you need me, I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. Baby, I know you're watching me, and I want you to look into these eyes. You do so much to help both Stacia and I. When Sophie, who is absolutely beautiful, and she was like Robin's sunshine. I think that Chelsea and Sophie and Emery and Sadie is why we called Robin Happy Frog. That was one of her little pet names, Sunshine and Happy Frog, because she'd talk about them and her eyes and her face would just light up. She talked about her son, Rodney, eyes and face light up. She talked about her friends, same way, people that she loved. December 8th, 4 years ago. I'm sorry, Bernice. I know what it's like to lose somebody, and we all do. They are here. They are with us. They can hear you. They can see you. That's why I say talk to them.
Yes, I promise you they do hear you.
Oh, yeah, they hear you. They hear you. And, I've often told Chelsea, I said, it would not surprise me a bit for Robin and my mom to be up there swapping stories or to be talking together, swapping stories, saying, well, let me tell you about the time he did this. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And that's okay. Because I just know my mom. Love her. I broke the news to my brother today about Robin. He was not, it was not easy.
I never said anything about it to him because I.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But he had the most remarkable response. He looks down and he looks up. He says, so she's where mom's at. And I said, yeah. He said, then she's all better. He said, she's doing really good.
I love him.
Stace, from the time we were kids, I mean, little kids, I've always thought that he knew so much more
He
than we
does.
could even wrap our minds around. He is straight from God himself. Yeah, that was Dad. Dad always tried to put on this thing that he was a hardcore, but he'd go out and he'd buy mom chocolates and he'd buy my Aunt Bobby chocolate. Yeah, he loved people. The people he loved. People he didn't like, he didn't have anything to do with. Yes, John 3:16. I'm catching up on the chat. Crystal said, how do you learn if you don't ask questions? Well, that's true. Some things, though, require a huge step on faith. But remember, God has always, Jesus made it clear to us. It's one thing to say you got faith. It's something else to step out on it. Every time I've ever stepped out on faith, I have never been let down. And I'm talking about leaving really decent, well, I'll say good, decent paying jobs when seemingly I had nothing else. But I did it for the right reason. And next thing I know, I had something that was better than before. Because I knew God's got this. Hello to Marie. And thank you, Candace. I can always use prayers. Hi, Vanita. Yeah, a lot of people are with me, Tammy, and getting Debbie into office. And she and I are actually going to talk some more about this. And did you see that? What Chelsea wrote to you? My Stacia, Lord, I love you, beautiful lady.
I'm telling you what, that's my girl.
Stacia has always been so beautiful. And just so sweet. And I'm sorry, Trish. She said, oh, you make me cry every time I watch you. Baby, it's not me. I want God to work through me in everything. Not just on this show, but in everything. Everything that I do, if there's something I can do to help somebody, he puts it on me, I'm going to do it. Because I am counting on him to defend me and make sure I don't do something goofy and cost myself either, but God won't do that. Kelly, I loved hanging out with you and Kayla. Kayla's my OG. Yeah, she is my OG. Anita Lucas Watts.
Love her.
I love you so much, Anita. And I've missed seeing you. I know I see you kind of sporadically from time to time. I think that maybe sometime around Christmas or pretty quick thereafter, maybe we need to get together, all of us in person, and maybe have some sandwiches and some soft drinks and just be together. Maybe even do one of these things live with you all there. Just a thought.
Sounds good.
But my Chelsea's got to be there.
Yeah.
The thing with Chelsea.
I love you, Candace.
is,
I swear.
oh yeah,
I don't know what I'd do without you guys. I don't.
Robin always gave me
And I'm
some.
not going to get emotional.
Yeah, the night is young, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Robin always gave both Stace and I strength to do the show. She believed in this thing. I think she believed in it more than I did at that particular point. I mean, because I was doubting myself, and she was like, "Don't." She said, "Quit counting on yourself and count on God." And I was like, "Yeah."
She just, one thing that I wish that I could have learned, and
Hmm.
she taught me so much, but she always knew what to do when something bad happened. She'd
You know,
always
she
stay
had this
calm
thing.
and tell you what to do next.
She had this thing, and I always loved it. And it was a thing. Apparently, she liked Chrisley knows best to some degree. And I said, I've heard that before. But we were talking one night, and I said, well, I said I could just, and I forget, I something going goofy or me just doing something goofy, which she would tell you I was known for that. But I'll never forget. She said, "Now, honey, it's class, not ass." I said, "God, I love you." I said, "You were just, you're on a whole other level up here." And
Of rottenness,
oh yeah, she
which
was,
I loved.
yeah, she was great. And she didn't care to call a dipshit or a shit ass a shit ass. She,
Amen.
yeah, she called me that more than once. Um, but she was strength. You know, Chelsea is such a big part of that. She is strength. I'll bounce things off Chelsea now like I would Stace. And she'll give me an honest opinion. She'll say, "Yeah, I think that would be." She did. She loved very hard. Um, and I think I mentioned hi to Tammy and uh
I
oh,
could meet up with
Sandra
you.
Goforth.
A picture of
For
it,
some reason, I almost called Sandra Goforth Sand Dragon.
or if you can,
I really need to get my glasses tuned up. I don't even know what a
yeah.
sand dragon is.
Angela, if you come this way, let me know. I'll give you my address or meet you somewhere.
Yeah.
Got a picture for me.
Oh, cool. Um, Anita told us to come over and she'd feed us all. Boy, I'm telling you right now, that's what you call love right there. Because Stace kind of, she's like Robin was. Stacy's like a little tiny bird sometimes. Me and Lloyd, though, we'll put it away. Um, and I think I've mentioned everybody can. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much caught up. But whether you're in the chat or not, you're welcome here, and we love to have you here. And I do want people to, and it's so hard wrapping your mind around this. It it is so hard wrapping your mind around remembering that they are still here, but it's in a different way. Now, yes, I'm getting into, the they're always here in our hearts. They are, yes, but they are also here. Like I said, think of a big house. Now, let's say that Stace is in the dining room and she's carving the turkey. And let's say that Destiny is in the kitchen, and she's going to love this analogy, but she's cutting
Anything chocolate.
a chocolate cake because we all know that Des loves her chocolate, and that's okay. And I love Des.
I know she's in there watching this, dying laughing right now.
And she probably is. And let's say Case is in there and he's getting the chicken wings out the oven. Well, I can't see Destiny. I can't see Stace. But I hear her. I feel her. I know she's there. Same thing. It's along that line. Ralph and Jenna Fraser, you also learn to forgive. That's so beautiful right there. That's something that I could definitely be a part of. Um, so many people talk about, they have trouble forgiving other people for the wrongs that they've been done by. And what I say to that is forgiveness is about you. It's about you allowing yourself to move forward, even though somebody may have done you wrong. It's about you moving forward. Now, there's nothing wrong And I do feel proud about this because Robin and I had this conversation once too. I said, there's nothing wrong with you moving forward and forgiving who it is that you need to forgive when you get to that point, when you get ready to. But let me tell you something, there is nothing that says you have to continue to have yourself put into a situation to where you are taken advantage of,
Good boy.
abused, or treated poorly. I said, there's nothing that says you have to do that. But forgiveness is about allowing yourself to move forward, growing, and saying, okay, I forgive them, but I'm not going to forget it. And then you just stay away from them if that's what it takes. Uh, Kim Underwood Bradley, love you, Kimmy. And hi to Summer Mullins. Hi, Summer.
Hey, Summer.
And of course, Ralph and Jenna. I don't even have to tell Jenna, you know I love you. Will this thing heal people? I don't know. I hope. I hope it brings some comfort. I hope it gives you a place to say, you know what? They're right.
Hands up.
There are moments when you know they're there. And you just got to try not to be so stricken by grief that you can see it. I mean, the things I've seen with Stace blow your mind. And I'm not just talking about the dolls moving. Yeah, we've all seen that happen. But I'm talking about people moving in our house when there's allegedly nobody there.
It's everywhere I go.
For you, yes, because you have that gift. You have that you can see and you can feel things. I've seen that. I rarely see something unless I'm over there with you, and then I have seen things. Most of the time, though, I get that feeling. You know that feeling that somebody's standing right there?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's like breathing down your neck. Somebody is.
How about somebody tickling your feet at 4 a.m. in the morning when there's nobody there?
We know who that was.
I love it.
Yeah. We're having dreams. And yeah, you know, the argument for that, well, it's just dreams. It's just dreams.
Yeah.
Not so much. Not so much. I don't think. Well, you should have just walked on over and gave me a big old hug, Jen. Yes, I do grocery shopping occasionally. Most of the time, I try to get somebody else to do it for me. But I do on occasion. But I know this and I see it. And to me, it is as obvious as the nose on your face. But yes, it is very hard for me sometimes to not question it. For me, not just to sit down and hang my head in defeat and ask God, why? Why? Just answer me that. I do think that we are here for certain reasons, and that it's to learn things that maybe we haven't learned yet, and that will help us later on down the road. Yes, and you can be in the chat room right now talking about some of the experiences you've had. Kelly tells us that she's had a number key code. Her hands were full off trays, off food, and all of a sudden her phone turned on with her EVP reader going nuts in the red. I stopped and made eye contact with her. Yeah. Now, I don't mess with anything like that that stays because I know just enough to know I can get myself in trouble. Then I got to get Stace over here saying, bring the sage, bring whatever. I've got something going on. And Lloyd won't come within 100 feet of where I live then.
That's right.
So, and he's just being honest. You can't fault him for being honest. Stace, oh, she'll walk right in on it. And next thing you know, the house is getting cleaned. But she's been doing this since she was, what's your first experience? What, 4 years old, 5 years old? Been a day or two.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been around for a minute doing this. God always does everything with a purpose. I do believe that. Yeah, he does.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it's really hard for us to try to figure out what that purpose is. So this time of year, remember them. Of course, remember them. If you need to cry, cry.
Yeah.
You want to laugh, laugh. Because I know you got funny memories with them. I do with every one that I've mentioned. Had funny memories of Jennifer, of Jimmy, of Angel. Had funny memories of Trev.
I got some great ones of Jen.
Jen was just, man, she was incredible. She was so awesome. And she was just super cool. And she was nice to anybody who would treat her with an ounce of respect. She was just very nice.
She sure know when to turn that off too.
Oh yeah, yeah. She could go from 0 to 60 in like a second.
Loved it.
Yep. And of course, Robin was, man, what a heart. So loving and giving. Trevor, same way. Trevor was, he was a laugh a second. You could not be around him and not crack up. You just couldn't. I couldn't. But I always admired him. I respected him. Guy was like a hero to me.
Yeah.
And he knew how to stand up for what was right, and he never had a problem doing it. Well, a lot of you guys have probably, since I've gone on now for an hour, why don't we take a few minutes? And if you feel like it, my dear, if things are operating smoothly, I know your computer can be a little glitchy and giffy sometimes.
You're rolling.
Then let's turn it up and let's see. Listen, if you want to hear from somebody tonight, try it and see. Best thing to do, though, is think of the memories, think of the laughs.
Hi. Hey. Still like said Keegan. Dad Keegan. If anybody wants to reach through, I've got everything's open. Came through in 11 lots. If you want to talk to somebody that's here with us in the chat, let me know their name. Caroline.
As you go through that, Stacia, I'm going to address this question.
Okay.
Anita said, she said, I have to ask, what's your take on MK's lawyer asking for another bond reduction? Well, if
Another
you
one.
listen to, if you listen to Romine's,
He turns down.
yeah, I'll catch you up to date on this real quick.
Yeah.
If you listen to Romine, who is McKinney III's attorney, he said it wasn't really a bond reduction. Here's what happened. Out of all the drama of a pending murder trial in Eastern Kentucky, as if that wasn't enough, the public in general has become beyond pissed off over the alteration or changing of a bond for a man accused of coldly and calculatedly murdering an innocent woman. Amber Spradlin, of course, that's who we're talking about. Now, he himself is accused of standing for a murder charge, while his father, the dentist, and the other guy who is a family friend were looking at, I think it was 8 counts of complicity to tampering with physical evidence. Anyways,
crazy.
The new trial date has been set for May 11th, and according to the judge, they're going to move through with this date this time at this particular time, May 11th, 2026. Now, attorneys said that it will likely be about a 3-week trial. Delays have piled up, although McKinney has requested a speedy trial, as the prosecutor in the case, Brent Arnold Turner, had requested more time for the processing of additional DNA evidence. See, when I first heard about this, I thought that it was a move by the defense. No.
Right.
They have more DNA evidence. Now, some of that is already done. They're waiting on the rest of it, and they're thinking February-ish. And, of course, they got to have time to go through that and then present discovery and do, all the other legal stuff that they got to do. Anyways, now listen to this. This is where it's going to get good. And it gets a little complicated. So, okay, so we all know that the bond was originally set at $5 million cash. That's what money come up with. Well, rightfully so. Okay, so anyways, they kept on and kept on. Judge went back and said, okay, look, here's what we're going to do. The bond was originally set at $5 million cash, It was altered to require MK to post $1 million in property and 10% of the remaining $4 million, which comes out to a grand total of $1.4 million, down from $5 million in cash. If he's released on bond, MK is also required to be placed on home incarceration. Now, McKinney was still in custody after that hearing, and Romans said that the altered bond was not truly a reduction from $5 million to $1.4 million. Where the hell did you go to school at? Okay. Anyway, I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. McKinney, the third's attorney, Roman, said that he will take part in a mediation if the judge wants it. And the judge is pushing for this. He said, you all need to have some kind of a mediation. You all know what a mediation is? It's basically when the two parties sit down and they try to talk this out without going to trial. Need I remind everybody out there that an innocent woman lost her life at the hands of a calculated, cold-blooded piece of shit murderer? End of story. She doesn't get mediation. Anyways, Romans said he does not see mediation working here because a jury needs to hear it. Yes, a jury does. Which really, to be quite honest with you, in my current frame of mind, I thought that was rather true. Jury needs to hear it, but I thought, well, that's kind of shocking. Anyways, they're back in court on February 26th at 10 a.m. for a pretrial conference. And again, the trial is now scheduled to begin whatever it was I just said a few minutes ago, May 11th, 2026. And according to the judge, they're going to go through with it. Now, let me move on before we get back to the SBS. Guys, I'm sorry. I got off track with this. But we move along to another high-profile case that has a large part of this country just absolutely floored and everybody talking. We go to Letcher County. Yeah, Mickey Steins. Anyway, there's really not much of an allegation here, as the whole damn thing was caught on video camera. I mean, he pumped 9 hot ones straight into a judge in the judge's office, which was covered by video camera. But that's not the question. The question here is why? Oh, my. And now we come to the rabbit hole. Firecracker, sis, boom, bah. Bugs Bunny, rah, rah, rah. And this is a hell of a rabbit hole. Everybody's still trying to figure out exactly what's going on with this. Anyways, we've been told that a social worker had examined the former Sheriff Steins and wrote that upon evaluation of Steins, it appears that he's still in an active state of psychosis. At least this was at the time she'd done that. Now, her report from 4 days after the shooting states that, adding that Steins was unaware of his surroundings, and the only way he knew anything was that people in the jail were telling him, "You're here. Here's what you did." We don't know exactly why you did it, but this is what you did. And except, the judge, who was Kevin Mullins, he's dead. Happened back in September 24. You guys probably remember that. But they said 7 shots fired while the judge was on the ground next to his desk, but there was 9 total. So 2 before he hit the ground, then the other 7 afterwards. Anyways, his mental health report is apparently still currently sealed, and they're trying to get it released to the public because they say, well, this goes to his defense as to whether or not there's any mental deficiencies. But there had been a number of coworkers that said that the guy had went off his rocker in the days before. Now, the sheriff was accused of failing to properly investigate allegations that a deputy who was identified as Ben Fields was allowing women who had been arrested to avoid incarceration in exchange for bumping uglies. Yeah, I got a way of putting things, I know. That's all that $100 education I got. It's called School of Hard Knocks. In a plea deal, Fields was given a 7-year prison sentence with 6.5 years to be served on probation. That's according to the Mountain Eagle newspaper. The civil case is continuing, though, and Steins testified in a deposition that only 3 days before the murder, and there were people saying, look, this guy just can't handle this kind of stress and pressure, and they're thinking that may have been a thing. But, of course, everybody that's close to that case apparently is saying that Stein's daughter didn't have anything to do with it. Then you got other people. Again, this is why I hate the damn rumor mill, because you don't know what you can believe. Other people are saying, oh, yeah, she had a thing going on with that judge. Now, that judge, keep in mind, she was at the time 16, 17. He was my age. I'm 54. When I see somebody that's 20, and my daughter would tell you this, I'll look and I say, she's a cute kid. Kid. Yeah, kid.
Yeah.
Now we move on to one that this will get Stacia's heart pumping and her ready to just whip candy ass all over the place. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is still looking into Summer Wells' case more than 4 years after she was reported missing from her Hawkins County home. She was reported missing around 6:30 on the day after my birthday, June 15th, 2021, from the Hawkins County home in which she lived, eventually becoming the subject of an Amber Alert across Tennessee, which is still active, but just a while back, not very long ago at all. There was like 15 to 20 some TBI cop cars, Hawkins County Sheriff's cars. And, brother, they brought the thunder off the mountain. They descended in on where they think she may be, which is in a place called the 3500 block of Van Hill Road in Greenville, Tennessee, which is about 10 miles away from Summer's family home. Now, here's the big thing right now. A lot of talk out there is that Wide Earp has just been turned loose, and they're getting ready to, what was it he said? You tell them I'm coming and hell's coming with me. Because if what we're being told has an element of truth to it, that element is that her parents were exchanging that baby girl for sexual favors in order to get drugs or something therein.
Yeah.
You ever thought to yourself that a jury trial is not really needed? That little girl was innocent. She was beautiful. She was a baby. She was a child. She should have been worried about making mud pies or playing with dolls or playing basketball or whatever it is that a child her age wants to be doing like that. She should have been worried about being a kid. When my kid was that young, that's what she was doing. Well, actually, she was plucking on guitars and learning how to play keyboards and singing. I remember it. She'd get in the backseat of the car in her car seat with me, and she'd sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And she's watching this tonight, so I'm probably going to be getting a dad kind of thing. Cody, you have no idea how many fans you've got out there that love this album that you've got out. I mean, even Chelsea was on her Facebook page tonight promoting it. 8 or 9 cuts, and let me tell you, every one of them, they're great. But anyways, if anybody does have any information concerning Summer, it's 1-800-TBI-FIND. That's 1-800-T as in Tennessee, B as in Bureau, I, investigation, and then find, like you would go find a sandwich or something. The majority of people, by the way, that have been questioned and asked their opinion, I mean, I'm talking about 97, 98%. They all believe that her parents know so much more than what they've said.
Mm-hmm.
And Stace does, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so do I. Dirtbags? Oh, Kelly, honey, you are being kind in saying that. Sounds like we need a hanging or shooting to McCann.
Amen to that.
Uh-huh. Somebody get that girl a sandwich. She's right.
Public hanging. Any child molester, that's what
I think the judge was involved with the daughter. Honestly, Kelly, I don't really have enough to base an honest opinion on what I think with that, because here's why. I don't know the daughter. I didn't know the judge. I do know some judges. But I will tell you what I know about human nature. It would not be uncommon for a guy of that age to have some kind of a fantasy, whimsical thing about a girl, especially if he was already kind of cockeyed on the moral department. Now, like I said, for me, I see my child, I see my daughter, and I see, uh. Now, I do get a little boastful sometimes because she's had a friend or two that found me attractive enough to say, we should go out. And I'm like, baby, I just got done changing one pair of diapers. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not boastful. It's grateful. I mean, thank you for thinking I look nice enough to, think I'm cute or whatever. When some guys, some people would look at me and say, you look like Yoda, dude. What's up with that? Big ears. No, but I can see where some people would do that because if human nature wasn't what it was, how do you explain human trafficking? They had a place in Paintsville a while back. They shut it down. And now the whole place is all but gone, thank God. But they were trafficking girls 13 and 14 years old out of there, so I was told.
Gee whiz.
Now, you think about that. The first thing I look, when I see a child that age, the first thing I'm thinking of, does she have enough to eat? Does she have a coat?
Mm-hmm.
Does she, do I need to get her mom, get her dad, make a phone call to them, say, hey, you need to come down here and get your baby. She's kind of in a lost ball high weeds. Or, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'd be afraid to take her anywhere, but I would call the police and get the police there to say, how can we get a hold of somebody that can help this child, that can help this little girl or little boy? That's probably exactly what I'd do. Blackmailing the daughter, the judge. I sense bad judge. Kelly, can't argue with it. Very possible. Hell to the no on anything to do with a kid. Matt Kretzer. Matt, good point. Yeah, kind of got to go with there too.
Yep.
I considered myself a good Christian woman, but I'd hang him up by his privates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bernice, I've got a really good buddy that keeps golf clubs. And he's got a hell of a swing on him. I just wonder what old Lloyd could do to a pair with one of those. With a driver.
Line up and pick your club and take a turn.
Everybody take a turn. I don't think Lloyd mind a bit.
Mm-mm.
And I've not seen him duck over there, so that tells me he's all for it. So yeah. No damn trial needed. What Chelsea said. Those evil sons of bitches don't deserve to even be in the same space as that sweet angel. No. I mean, look. I have come to just I've fallen in love with the Robbins grandkids. And I've not even met two of them yet, but I know their kids. They're good kids. I know their mom. And I know their sister, Sophie. And I will rock up an orange jumpsuit for any of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Not think twice about it. And I would rock an orange jumpsuit for summer.
Mm-hmm.
What you munching on, baby? We family here. Huh?
Yogurt.
Yogurt is good. What flavor?
It's a strawberry.
Oh, God, that's good stuff. Mikey loves Yoplait yogurt.
My sugar gets low sometimes. And I
sure. Well, honey, don't let me stop you. Make sure you eat. You need to. Mikey, I got him some of that multi-berry flavored Yoplait.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
That stuff is the bomb.
I like it's awesome. Granola.
I'm not what you call it.
I
mean, I don't go around going yogurt. I'm somebody that sat down and say beer and beef. That's kind of me. Well,
good stuff.
I'll take Diet Coke and a Whopper from Burger King and the jalapeno by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to take a page out of Chelsea's book, the rodeo burger. Apparently, those things are a little slice of heaven. So they're good. But anyways, yeah, I kind of got off track there to get you guys cooled down just a little bit because I knew that was going to piss you off. And the progressive pictures of Summer, what she would look like today. That little girl was nothing short of just beautiful. So pretty, big, pretty smile, big, pretty eyes, blue eyes. And her hair was so pretty. They're not going to find her like that. She's been gone for some time. I hate to say that. But I do think that, the Old Testament talks about, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But yeah, I'd like
They
to.
even checked out the pig farm
Yeah.
for her remains there.
Yes, I had heard that. I think, as a matter of fact, I'd heard that from you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you had told me
That was
about
on the
that.
news the other day.
It breaks your heart.
It really does.
When I see my child doing whatever, tonight, apparently at work, she was having a war zone with some other employees. And I really think, my God, my kid is like a United States Marine recon. Because, I mean, she was sneaking up on people, throwing paper wads at them. And they have fun like that. They do that when they're caught up with their work and they do their thing. But I can't help but think, how did I get so lucky? And then I listen to her music. And again, I'm like, lucky. No school tomorrow in Floyd County just came through, according to Susan. Thank you, Susan. Appreciate that, sweet pea. Yeah, no school tomorrow in Floyd County. I
Yeah.
guess, Stace, are they like giving a couple inches of snow or
It's
something?
evident. Let me check the weather again.
Mm,
Evidently, it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, it says winter weather advisory. These conditions are expected to last until 7 a.m. Friday, December 5th, and it's now snowing. 31. It's supposed to snow starting now all the way up until 4 a.m.
I should have went back to BK and got more jalapeno bites. Oh,
Where are
well.
you going?
Okay.
I don't know where you're going. You're not having any more yogurt.
That is the massive killer peony. Tammy said
I'm
1 to
so
3
proud of
inches. Yep, that is Peanut, the little miniature wiener dog, who thinks that she is a 500-pound
you.
Rottweiler.
I'm also sitting on a chocolate lab that's 100 pounds, and a Great Pyrenees that's 135 pounds is at my
Are they
feet.
getting along finally?
Yeah, I think they just. I think it's just in the house. I don't know.
Bernice said
Around
it
me,
was
maybe.
painful. All right, well.
Yeah, it is snowing.
Anyways,
I'm
guys,
actually sitting here. I
I
could look at the
wanted
window.
to bring those things up to you this evening, and I got off because I go where God guides me. I don't have a script for that. I wrote that script out, so I could keep my facts kind of straight, but I go where God guides me. So there it is. So if you want to, now we'll take a few minutes and go back to the SBS.
Yeah.
And snowing in Richmond now, Missy said. Missy, it's so good to hear from you. Thank you for that too, by the way, sweetie. Parking lot is covered here. I don't even know what it's doing out here. It's in Prestonsburg, so. But my child did get me a lemonade tonight.
Ooh, looks good.
I'm privileged.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, that's so good.
It said inmate. Who's an inmate? Does anybody want to come through for anybody in the chat room? Anybody in their family here? Hi, Dad.
I wonder if that was my summer. For you guys that don't know, we feel like Summer has contacted us via this before. And I'd made a comment that I would have adopted her, and I still would to this day. And from then on out, what does she call me, Stace?
Dad.
Calls me Dad or Daddy. And I love it. I love that.
Love you.
I love that. I love you, Summer. I love you so much, sweet baby.
Are they close to finding Summer's body? Who was responsible for her death? Touched. Was it her parents?
You sick?
He's sick. Dad. And that's, I heard somebody say inhale. Will. I love you. That was plain as day. Does anybody want to come through for anybody here with us in the chat room? How about Rebecca? Let's call out Rebecca. This one's for Teresa. Can you come through for us, Rebecca? Can you tell us what happened to you? Who's responsible for your death? Does anybody want to come through and tell us what happened to James? Can we get a name on the person that was responsible for his death? Do you have a message for somebody here with us? Angela says hello. Bubba, if you're out there, you can come through and talk to us. Can you give your mom a sign if you're out there, Bubba? Felt like I said it sucked. Yeah. Dwayne, can you come through for Marie? She's in here. I'm sure your family would love to hear from you. We all would. Can you give us a sign if you're here and you can talk to us? What is it?
I'll admit it.
With your fingers? Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, Candace. I'm sure everybody will pick this up. I was actually talking to some friends of the victims of Brian Epperson. We are actually going to have them, if they will come, onto this show very soon.
Awesome. Good deal. Judy, can you come through for Candace tonight? Harold.
Ooh. Good stuff.
Summer, if you're still out there, can you talk to us? Something, I swear it sounded like she said, beware of candy. Can you tell us if they've already found Summer's body? I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see the chat room better. I can't really see what you guys are. Dad. Roger, can you come through for Missy? Dwayne, can you come through for us? Come through for me and Marie. Yep. Do you have a message for your family? Chris. No, you're not. You're a good person to be around.
Candace, you're awesome to be around.
That's right. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary.
We could use it. Right now, times are tight. I mean, yesterday, Stacia and I dropped a quarter and we picked up a nickel. So, yeah, if you guys could donate to the good of the show, we'd appreciate it.
Judy, can you come through for Candace tonight? She called you Candy, didn't she? Did she, Candace? Can you come through for her tonight? She'd love to hear from you. You can come through and just tell me your name. Sheriff.
Sheriff.
Slone?
Can Amber come through? I'd love to hear from you. See, Patricia. That's my mama. She's okay. And with
Daddy.
Lester and all, are you all together? Patricia would love to hear from you all. Yep. Good.
Was it?
Was Ed. Wayne, are you out there? Can you talk? Can you talk to us? Can you come through? Can you come through for Marie or Herschel? Yeah. If you have a message for Chris, can you come through for us? Say something that only he would know. Messy. Is he messy?
My hair is.
Bree. Is Amber.
Yeah,
Amber with us?
what a hot mess.
Hey, bub. Roger. Sounds good, Candace. Rita. Love you.
Subscribe.
Does anybody else want to come through for anybody that's here with us before we shut the spirit box? There goes the music for us again.
Mm-hmm. Been a while since I've heard that.
Yeah.
I see Choco is on the prowl.
You gonna wake up? Come here. Come here. You gonna wake up?
Choco is a 100-pound chocolate lab.
He's a rescue baby. I've been trying to rescue all these babies that I can.
He's a good boy. And he really does look like Count Chocula. I got to name him. He does look like Count Chocula.
I've heard Roger twice in the next.
Yep. Kelly said that Rita is her mom's name.
Mm-hmm. Hi. Rita, are you still there? I'm here. Brian. He said she cussed that bitch. Here we go. Get ready. Bitch.
Yeah, we can't really control everything that comes through. But when he mentions the name bitch, I can't help but think maybe they're talking about Brian Epperson.
Sorry about it.
Because Epperson is a little bitch.
Oh, yeah.
A coward.
A big bitch that you just said.
Yeah. And hopefully he'll be treated like one in prison. Pass him around like a pack of Winstons.
Slone?
Yes, it said Brian, Angela. Plain as day.
Okay.
Real country sounded accent on there. Angela. That was a little creepy. Let's see what Kayla said. I'd like to reach out to my cousin Cody. Tell him I love him and I'd love to hear from him today. Cody, if you can hear us, Kayla would love to hear from you. She loves you very much.
And today's her birthday.
And Cameron, if you can come through, Charlie's here for you.
He'd love to hear from you. It would help him a lot if he could.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad.
I love Candace. She is just she rocks.
She is.
Put that white bar straight up.
James, Bernice would like to know how that she woke you up for school. Scratch her. TV.
My mom would try to wake me up from school. Then Dad would inevitably come in there with a quart saucepan of cold water.
Yeah.
I'd come up out of that bed screaming, cussing. He'd say, yeah, he said, you'll do that again, won't you? I miss them.
It's me. I'm here.
Mm.
Listen for those voices, you guys. I'm having a lot of different voices come through that I've never heard. Just because we don't know, it could be somebody.
Is this a new bank?
Yeah, this is one of the two new ones.
Okay.
They're both running wide open.
Yeah.
I don't even have the Ovilus on. I had the Ovilus ready to go, but don't even need it.
I think that Ovilus, though, is super cool. I think it's awesome.
So am I.
That's all right, Candace. I love you anyways. Honey, I love without conditions. And I am not a judge.
Cameron, can you tell Charlie what happened? What happened to you, Cameron?
I'm hearing a lot come out tonight.
What?
I'm hearing a lot come out tonight.
Cameron, can you tell us what happened to you? Your dad's here. I'm here listening. Can you...
What about Sebastian Rogers?
Lori something. Killed. Brian, can you come back through for Angela? Tell us what your last name is. Is your mother named Rita? Sebastian, can you come through for us? Dad and something in the chute. Clancy, will there be an arrest before Christmas time?
Mary, just exactly how active are they on the investigation concerning Clancy? Because I'm just not hearing a lot about that.
Yeah, that's
And
why
we
I'm
should.
trying to get
We
the
should
word
be.
out.
Should be hearing a lot about it, I would think.
Clancy, can you tell us what happened to you? Who it was? Nick? Dennis? Can you tell us who did it? Who is? I'm going to word this without making. Who was responsible for James Osborne's untimely passing?
Whoa.
He took a hit. That's what it is. Who hit him? Let's see. Anna says Clancy is my first cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Clancy, can you come through for Anna? Yeah. Brian, is Jess with you? That sounds like it said Kayla. Clancy. Doug. Rebecca, can you come through? Can you tell us who murdered you? I heard Mike, Chris, all kinds of names coming through. Dad. Bernice said he did from the back, but he put up a good fight. I do know that. Bless his heart. Does anybody else want to come through? Mom. Could be Angela. So sorry.
Slone.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming through tonight.
Yeah.
And of course, I'll continue for a few minutes afterwards to see if anybody comes through with any names.
Sure. Well, we do ask again. If you think it's worth it, and if you can, throw us a little bit of support. You can go to www.chrissloan.media, and there's a Venmo and PayPal down there. And we're looking at bringing back, I don't know, the Patreon thing for people that would want to use that. And instead of having all kinds of different tiers, there'll just be one or two. And now that things are considerably less busy, at least on my part, we can do more of the one-on-one stuff if you guys would like, in exchange for, being a Patreon supporter. Things like Stacia and I actually getting together and being on here with you in a private, personal setting. And, if Stace wants to do readings, that's entirely up to her. And
I started back up the tarot readings too.
Yeah, you mentioned that, which I think is
out. So if anybody wants
the
to
tarot, that's the
tarot
cards,
readings,
right? That's the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do clarity readings.
Clarity readings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
For clarity, it's just just a way to say.
Baby, I need to get with you then. I could use all the clarity I can get right now. So, right now, I'm pretty sure I'm like a southbound mule moving in the northbound direction. So it's, I can't figure out where the hell I'm at or what I'm doing half the time. So yeah, that would probably be a good thing for me. Oh, let's see, Kayla Tangsley, and how about Addison? Hey Addison, it's Kayla's daughter. See, I got to meet Addison just the other day. We had video chatting, me and her mom and her grandma, and me and Addie, and Addison is just beautiful, and she is so cool and so sweet. And I really cannot begin to tell you guys, every single one of you, how much we appreciate you being here tonight. And I really can't start to put a cap. Let me go away, son. You bother me. On how much you all mean to us and how important you are. And I get it. Some days you just don't feel like it's worth it. And it's okay to feel that way. Just don't act on it because you are worth it. Number one. Number two, we need you. And you have no idea what God has in store for you. Not every day can you be at the top of the roller coaster. But would you really want to be? Because you see, if you don't go through the tough times sometimes, how are you really going to know who the people that love you really are? The people that want you around. How are you going to know who they really are? And how are you going to know what it's really like to fly so high when you've never been down too low? We all go through it. I do. I've had several days this week, so is Stace. Lloyd has down days. Everybody has down days. Everybody does.
Yep.
But remember the words of my dad. Character is what you do when nobody else is looking. Do I miss them? Oh my God. It's putting it mildly. But I can tell you, I feel so blessed that I had them in my life. It's an old thing, Candace. Yeah, you get too close to that mic. And when you're learned a long time ago, when you're doing audiobooks, you can keep that voice really low and try to wrap people in. I don't feel like that, though. That vampire back there still freaks me out. But, okay, Nosferatu. Or is that Lloyd Ferratu?
He slipped out a little bit ago.
Yeah, he's got that whole vibe going on. But anyways, hang in there a while longer. Smile. A lot of people underestimate what they can do in 3 or 4 years. Some people overestimate what they can do in a year. Give yourself some time. When you need to cry, cry. Get that creativity back about you. Sit down and plan. You know what you want to do, and you are capable of doing it. Everybody's got a gift. Use yours for the best. Stace, my dear, wonderful job tonight.
Thank you. Love you.
And I love you so much too, baby. And I can't wait to see you again very soon, I hope.
We'll have to get together this weekend.
Yes, you do ground me. You make me feel so much better. You always do.
Absolutely. Ditto. Yep.
And for everyone else out there, we love you. And we can't wait to see you. And we will see you back here next Thursday.
Just message me, Mary, if you need any of that info. I'll send it to you guys. Love everybody.
Love you guys. And thank you so much for being here tonight. May God bless you and keep you. And as always, stay mysterious. Love you. Good night.
I hope you're looking down on me saying, damn, I'm so proud. I hope it doesn't matter that I don't have life all figured out. I live my life for you because you can be here. I still hear your voice as a whisper